Never, never, never die. 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 Never die.
Fuck you. All right. It is Wednesday. It is 8:37 a.m. And before I get into today's podcast, I want to thank Blackstone Labs for sponsoring this podcast. And you can get 20% off your entire order at blackstonelabs.com. That is 20% off your entire order at blackstonelabs.com. Proteins, branched chain amino acids, pre-workouts, thermogenics, whatever you need to achieve in the gym, Blackstone Labs can help you. Weight loss, weight gain, all that fucking good shit. And you know what? You can get 20% off your entire order at blackstonelabs.com. That is 20% off your entire order at blackstonelabs.com. Be to the 4-power checkout. Get yourself hooked the fuck up. Jon Andersen's Thrive Body Transformation Program. I'm currently going through it. I've lost 36 pounds. And you know what? That 36 pounds has not come back. It has stayed off. I have a sustainable diet that I can easily control, easily manage. And you know what? It is not fucking easy. I'm not starving. I am not hurting myself. And what the best thing is this is easy. It's simple. It's simplified. It's put to you in black and white. And you can lose weight, feel great, and all that fucking good shit. You want to put on muscle. You just want to lose weight. You just want to maintain. Jon Andersen can help you. And you know what? If you reach out to him, he'll take care of you. You can also reach out to me, and I'll send you all the information for Jon Andersen's Body Transformation Program. CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. That is CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. No job too big, no job too small. Residential, commercial, does not matter. CH Concrete can help you. Just mention Angry Dad, and they'll take care of you. Feast Mode. Feast Mode is a flavor seasoning company that makes food taste fucking great. From sweet to heat, whatever you need, Feast Mode got you. I use Asiago Jalapeno, Tennessee Whiskey. Those are my two favorite, and I recommend you guys try them. You can still get free samples at this moment. Just pay for shipping at feastmode.com. The link is in the notes, and use Angry Dad at checkout and get 10% off your order at feastmode.com. Sleep Terror Clothing. Sleep Terror Clothing sells occult brand shirts, hats, art prints, and you know what? Beard oil. For those who know, those who watch, I have a beard, and that beard is taken care of by Leviathan Cross. Leviathan Cross smells good, feels good, looks good. And you know what? Get yourself some fucking beard oil at sleepterrorclothing.com. Hemp Bombs. For the month of September, you can get 50% off one item with Angry Dad 50 at checkout at hempbombs.com. Make sure you guys get hooked the fuck up. CBD is something I use. Some CBD is something I need. And you know what? I fucking use it. I used to wake up stiff, fucked up, can't move, straight out of bed, like what the fuck is wrong with me? But you know what? A couple of drops under the tongue and I feel fucking great. CBD is something I live with, live by, and use. So if you want to try something, change your fucking life with some CB fucking D. They also have pills, capsules, candy, drinks, whatever you fucking need. And you know what? They even do vape. And so you can get hooked the fuck up at hempbombs.com, 50% off one order. Use Angry Dad 50 at checkout. Now let's get into today's podcast. You know what? This man has a little bit of color. He fell asleep under the sun, and his name is fucking Robbie from Out of the fucking Blank.
Now, I was just thinking the whole time, you gotta let me do your intros next time. I could sell it. We could sale pitch it right. They said hemp bombs, but it's a good type of bomb. It just gets you high.
just a little high that makes you feel relaxed and recover. So Robbie, I was talking yesterday, and you know what? You have actually a car festival happening in your neighborhood, and I didn't even know that was the town that you live in. And I thought it was funny as fuck because I've watched documentaries and all that bullshit about that.
Well, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Would you call it a car event? I don't know. I just don't like it how I get it. You got money, put it into your car. I'm 100% okay with that. But now every single business down here is closed just because of the amount of riots. Like, I don't know if you've seen the video I told you to look up, was a bunch of people dressed up in banana outfits, and they were just running through the streets. There were riots. They had to bring state troopers from over the bridge up in Baltimore, had to come down here. It's a crazy event. I just don't like it because I'm in that age group of the kids that are driving those cars that people hate. So whenever I'm filling up gas, I just get an old person go, "You're ruining our town." I'm like, bro, I was born and raised here. I'm not driving like 100 miles an hour in a Kia. That's not happening.
That's it. And then for those who don't know and don't follow the thing, this is a stance festival. And what stance is, it's a lowered car. And there's actually laws for how low you can have your car. And so people purposely go to his town to get the car towed for 30 fucking days. And that's the crazy fucking part. You know what I'm saying? That's like, it's so fucking ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's funny as hell. Like I said, I watched the documentary and seen a lot of stuff on it. It's just, and I'm a car guy. So like, I know cars, I'm around cars, and I know exactly how cars work and all that shit.
I'm in the group on Facebook, and like, there's a person that put up his GPS or his travel distance of what it's going to be. It's 12 hours and 50 minutes to get to my town. And I was like, all for a shitty weekend.
Yeah.
Like the only things that's going to be open is McDonald's. That's all they buy is McDonald's. They just sit out there in the parking lot. Cops pull them over left and right. But I mean,
Yeah.
I can understand it because I mean, we're probably the same way when it comes to supplements. We try and find like the most cost effective. We don't
Yeah.
mind spending an extra buck if we know it's going to do the job right.
Exactly. And that's just one of those things too. Even with supplements too, if you know what works, you know what's right, that's what you fucking go with.
Just enough to be able to bench the weight I want to bench.
You know what I'm saying? Just trying to put up a little bit of fucking weight. And that's how it fucking goes. You know, and that's the thing too, is like, pre-workouts are not built the same. And one of the things about pre-workouts is, and it is funny too, because like supplement companies are basically unregulated. You know what I'm saying? Because it falls under a supplement name. So they don't have to be tested. They don't have to be like regulated. They basically can put whatever they want in a supplement and then throw it out there. There are some companies that go out of the way to make it tested fine and that it's perfectly healthy and safe for you, but some companies don't give a fuck. You remember Jack 3D? We
sell that at my work.
Yeah, but did you ever take the original form? You're probably not even old enough to remember the original formula, or even didn't even understand the concept. Because like back in the day, they used to put DMAA in Jack 3D, and it was so like overloaded and overdosed at one scoop, and you were fucking a maniac. You were doing crazy. I don't
get that though. See, the thing is, everyone goes like, oh, I can't take that pre-workout. It'll give me the jitters. I'm like, I've taken every single pre-workout, and none of them give me the jitters. Energy drinks don't do anything for me.
Well, see, that's the thing though too. Is like I said, this original formula was basically like a damn near the closest you can get to a steroid, get to like something like methamphetamine. It was so like people literally died from taking too much of it. People were like, oh, and you get all dehydrated, you sweat, and people would just die from the side effects of what this was. But the thing is no, like I said, the Jack 3D original formula, it was like damn near like the dosage of it was so powerful in it, because like you can only put so much of the DMAA in it, that, you know what I'm saying, they're like just enough, but they were like overdosing it, so people would have these incredible lifts and pumps. If you look it up, the original Jack 3D formula, the first fucking couple of like I said, the first iteration of it, once people started dying, they actually had to actually look into it. And when they looked into it, they're like, what the fuck did you put in this? You know what I'm saying?
Fresh deer heart in there, put a little bull testicle in there as well, too. Give you that extra rage.
Oh, man. Like I said, I used to use it. You know what I'm saying? I used to get, but also, too, I was always a person, I followed the rule. I might take a scoop, 2 scoops at max. And it was just fucking insane. And like after they banned it, and then, they rebranded, it was never the fucking same. No supplements were ever the same really after that, because they were cracking down at that time. And this is like 2005, 2004, maybe. And it was just so fucking crazy. But I ended up going to like some random like Rite Aid in the middle of nowhere. And Rite Aids and all those places sell supplements. You know what I'm saying? You can go in there and they have supplements. I went in there and I found 4 bottles of the original Jack 3D. And I was like, I'm gonna take these home. You know what I'm saying? I must have spent like $150, but it was fucking worth it.
I don't see with the FDA cracking down on everything. I don't think I know we can look at supplements and be like, maybe it's the FDA's job. They should be doing better to do that. But I'm like, I don't know, because their industry has been lied for so long. I mean, for so long, people thought that like sugar was the thing that was going to get you fat. Or no, that wasn't going to get you fat. It was actually going to be fat that was going to get you fat.
Yeah.
And then it turns out it's all sugar all along, that the industry paid $50,000 just to lie to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
You wonder why people are so like, don't know where to go these days. Is everything that's being told to you is a fucking lie.
Oh yeah. It's just misconstrued and all that stuff. Like with Blackstone Labs, one of the things that drew me to them is because their products, they're pretty hardcore. They're to the limit. They're the max of what you can get that's legal to own on the thing. And like even the owner, PJ, he was arrested because they were using chemicals, and they were using like the supplements that were legal. And then as soon as they made them illegal, they were still in the product. So it never got a chance to like reformulate or do anything. So they busted him. He spent a little bit of time in jail, got out, cleared his fucking name, fought with the court and all that stuff to make sure he didn't lose all this shit. But that's exactly what it is. It's like there's so many things that like can be used and can't be used, and it's always changing on a day-to-day basis. So like it's one of the reasons why I like using Blackstone Labs, is because like I said, I'm using legit shit And guess what? The government was like, oh, no, this is too good. You can't fucking sell it. And they're like, no. You didn't tell us. And now that we know, we don't use it anymore.
See, now that was a good way to do an ad, what we just did. We just basically promoted a product. But
exactly.
Instead of turning this into one giant ad, there's actually a few things I want to talk about. One, are you not as upset as I am at the fact that it seems like any type of person that is trying to get a little sliver of success, it's so fucking impossible to be able to do so? Like, I'm really starting to realize that more and more now. And I think that's really, really upsetting. And I think it was you that woke me up like at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just hearing you go off like crazy. I'm like, that's Ben. I have to wait till I'm up and awake to listen to this episode. I guess I just fell asleep with my podcast player going. But you were snapping. You were going at it about like how the world is gonna beat you and break you. And I was like, that is 100% true. But I think it's not even the world's, like, what I'm trying to do right now, besides like doing a little bit of painting. Yeah. Is I've been getting into just relaxing and trying to drown out the noise of social media by just all I do is post and then I'm off of it. Yeah. And it's freeing in a way, but also the same fact of just trying to enjoy the beauty that is the world and a natural high that it can really offer you without sounding super hippy dippy. There are some beautiful things, for instance, like watching a sunrise or a sunset, or even just watching a cloud move. Like that slow pace, it makes you start to realize that there's something bigger out there, which I want people to start concluding into their own life, is that there is something bigger out there. And the person that's stopping you from reaching your goals is not the roadblock to the bigger picture, which is the factor that there is something bigger than us. There is something bigger than an enemy. There are people that literally harbor hatred for someone since fucking high school, and they're out of high school by 20 something years. There's people, when people go, I don't like that person, they're my enemy. What are you doing? You're letting that person pay rent into your mental fucking space. And that to me is insane, because I start looking at things of like, what am I willing to lose? And what am I willing to keep? And there's a few things that I'm willing to keep and a lot of things I'm willing to lose. And my cell phone is definitely going to end up being one of them.
Yeah. Let me tell you something right now. The thing about that is like, it's a time learned thing. I used to have that mentality. I used to be like that, but over time, through situations and progress and stuff that I've done, I've learned to be like, it is what it is. I don't give a fuck. Whatever your thoughts are about me are your thoughts. And guess what? They don't affect me. So once you learn and you build up this tolerance of fuck everybody else, it's only about myself, that is that transitional mind to where you can actually block those people out. They can absolutely have that hatred. They're going to not want you to succeed. They're going to want you to feel like shit. They're going to want you to lose. People really out there want people to lose. And that's the thing, is like, you can't let that negative affect you, because guess what? You can easily repel it. I do not accept negativity. I only deal with positivity. And the thing about positivity is the more you put out, the more you get. And the thing is, there are people, there are things, there are places out there that keep you from succeeding. But the thing is you always have to work around them. You always have to walk around them. You always have to do everything without them. And the thing is like with even with the success that I've had and the things that I've been doing, I have people out there that are literally like, fuck him, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is about that negativity, guess what? You can't have success without negativity. You can't have success without haters. You can't have success without all this extra bullshit. But the thing is just like you said, there's a bigger picture. There's a bigger thing. And this is how I'm going to tie this together. I've found my medium. I found where this is my life. This is what I do. But also too, I have the ability to step back and enjoy my life. I have the ability to step back and enjoy everything around me, because the thing is I know how to separate myself out of those moments. I have times where I'm like, oh, guess what? Nothing's going on. Me and the family. I won't do a podcast. I won't do any videos. I won't do anything where it's just, nope. It's just my inner circle. And once you step into that inner circle, everything else is outside. Everything else doesn't matter. And so when I've been able to do that, I have my downtime where I can relax. I can look at I can do my hobbies. I can do the things that I love. But the thing is I learned to step back out of that circle, step back into my social media, step back into my work, step back into my progress, step back. And the thing is I can slip in and out. And when you learn that balance, and when you learn that ability to be like, I'm breathing, I'm enjoying, nothing else matters. And then guess what? I'm ready to work. I've caught my wind. I've caught my readiness to start working again. I've already relaxed, I recovered, and I'm ready to step back into the chaos. And when you step back into that chaos, you already understand how the game is played, what people think, what people are going to say, how people are going to react, what's going to happen when I start making moves again. And when you start making those moves, people are going to watch. Like I said, some people like it, some people don't like it. But the thing is you always stay neutral. Thank you. And thank you. Thank you to the haters. Thank you to the supporters. Thank you to both sides, because both sides are watching. But the thing is you always stay down that path, because as soon as you start getting a big head, you're going to lose people. As soon as you start leaning into haters, they've won, because now all your time and attention is towards them. So I've learned to just walk this fine line of like, thank you, everybody. I appreciate whatever you're doing, even if it's bad, negative, or something that's going to try to affect me. But the thing is because I've learned to be like, whatever, it's all fucking good. You know what I'm saying?
I guess the way my brain has flipped it is that I'm not willing to accept the digital life sucking force of what social media is, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
Just on the cusp of what is it to be a content creator? You have to be in the eyes of the public. I think our friend Jason Lampro said it best. He goes, my social media sucks. And I'm like, it does suck. I can't help it. I don't want to be on it as much as everyone wants to spend all day 24/7. The fact that you feel reliant to, repost things, or you feel reliant to like a certain person's post because they follow you. And if you don't like their post, they won't like yours. That weird ass thing to me. I'm not willing to accept that. And I'm wondering if for myself, for instance, you start to examine it, like then eventually you become that discontinued supplement in a fucking Rite Aid store that you find randomly in a fucking small shoved away town in the middle of the earth. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you
yeah.
end up becoming that thing. It's kind of like with Hobby Lobby, for instance. They found a $1.5 million tablet of Gilgamesh, that ancient piece of history that the government had to seize back just in a random fucking Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
It's either someone is looking and they accidentally stumble across you, and then they find the value that you are, or you spend so much time trying to shove it in people's fucking faces that they are so tired of it, they don't want to deal with it anymore. So I'm wondering it's kind of like Leonardo da Vinci. They found one of his lost works. A guy spent 20 years trying to uncover all these paintings, or this painting on top of a painting on top of a painting, to get down to the bare original, which was a Leonardo da Vinci original painting, a bare bones thing.
Yeah.
But people kept trying to paint over it, copy it, recreate it, try and add on to it and make it like, oh, this is Leonardo's finished painting, when really they actually did more damage to it by adding onto it over the years and years and years, where it ended up actually losing value to get back to the base print of it. But a person invested 20 years into his life into this. And here's two examples I took out of that. 20 years investing into a painting that could possibly, not even 100%, could be a Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
That person had to be like, fuck it. If it doesn't turn out, what happens? 20 years later, oh, it's not a Leonardo da Vinci. You just spent 20 years of your life fucking gone. There's the time suck. The thing with everybody trying to create content, everybody messaging multiple people, trying to book a bunch of people, trying to talk to a bunch of people, trying to do whatever they possibly can to grind to whatever their goal is because there's an unrealistic expectation that the amount of time you have is nothing. Now, your amount of time is minuscule in the grand scheme or the grand picture, but the amount of time that you have is everything. It's not minuscule. And I think that's something I've been thinking about recently and trying to really understand is like, is my happiness worth the fact that I'm willing to get on a device and let it all be sucked out of me, my whole entire life, my whole entire day, mindless hours of my life being gone on the concept of I'm scrolling through stuff I don't even remember what I'm scrolling through. All on the concept is I believe that the relationships that I built are only valid if I give a like, which is when I come down to people like you, for instance. I think our relationship's stronger than that, where I don't have to like every single one of your fucking posts and you're not going to be mad at me. But there are people out there that know people and probably have people like that if they don't like their post, they're gone. And I'm just like, man, I don't consider that. Is that someone that you want in your corner? You're someone I want in my corner because you're there. You listen, you talk to me, we message back and forth. Message me, fine. But people have these battles in their heads and they think it's going to go a certain way where they end up building up hatred over an imaginary conversation or an imaginary delusion of what their level of respect or value is in another person's eyes. And I think that's something that happens with the world and this technology that we're in. And I think there needs to be a way to balance that.
No, there definitely is a way to balance it, because that's, like I said, one of the things that, me being in the social media game, I understand. Like, I know how much I post. I know how I post. I know what I post, because I'm the one gathering it. I'm the one creating it. And the thing is like I said, some people social media sucks is because they, it's fun to look at, but sometimes it's hard to create. It's hard to develop. It's hard to put things out there. But for myself, I love to create. I love to make videos. It's why I have so many things going on. You know what I'm saying? I do 3 podcasts. I have my YouTube channel. I have me and my family's YouTube channel. And I just like to create. I just like to do these things that I'm saying. I make my TikToks. I make my Instagrams. I do all these things because I enjoy it. I literally made 3 videos this morning while I was having a cup of coffee, and it didn't take me no time. But the thing is I had fun doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so because I have fun doing it, that's why I have such ease doing it, because like this is literally integrated into my everyday. And so just from posting and saving and putting and creating, I just have that much fun because like I said, not all aspects are fun. Like once I get to the point where I got to, put together videos, upload videos, or when I got to add in text or information, that's the part I hate. The creating part's the easy part. If I could just create and upload and then just forget about it, it'd be great. But it's the tiny little details that I hate doing. But like I said, everyone's social media experience is different. I just happen to have that much more fun with it, and it's easier for me. But the thing is like with those other people that have a hard time creating, or they see someone else's success and they're like, why are you doing so much better? And it's because I have a love for what I'm doing, and you just want to do one part. But the thing is if you can't do all parts, it's hard. But the thing is if someone makes it look easy and they're like, why is it so easy for him? It's like, no, it's because I'm putting in this amount of work every day. I have a certain amount of time.
Do you see where this all led to though? Like the influencer that was missing for so long, everyone on the fucking social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all became fucking detectives. Like they have a fucking master's degree in being able to discover forensic crime because they've seen a couple of CIS shows. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And that's the draining, corrupting part of social media, is that people are literally they're reposting and sharing something that they necessarily don't even know that fucking person. They don't give a shit, all because they want that thing. And I think that is not good. That is bad.
Of course it's not good. But the thing is too, is like how you're saying, investigate. People will literally take a news report and then transform it and reword it to what they do. I see it all the time. And especially on TikTok, because there's so many true crime detectives and so many people that want to be news anchors, so many people that want to do these things. But the thing is they have the ability to use this tool to regurgitate what a teleprompter is telling a news anchor. And they're just doing it to try to, get themselves out there. But the thing is not everyone's creative. Not everyone's out there to be a social media influencer. No one's out there. Being a content creator just became a thing. I've been doing this since Instagram started, and then all of a sudden it translated into something good, and then it translated into all these other social medias. And the thing is people are now like, hey, the internet provides money. Let me just copy and paste what people do. And then when you get these lazy content creators that are just like, oh yeah, and then that's it. And that's it. That they're a one-trick pony. They don't know how to do more, and they're not willing to try more, because if someone else doesn't have the idea, they're not, they can't steal it. That's just basically what it is. All of us content creators, and like I said, I don't consider myself like this crazy content creator. I'm just somebody who likes to create content, and I like to post it and put it out. And I might not get a lot of likes. I might not get a lot of views. I have a nice following, but the thing is I still do it. I still put it out. I have no issue throwing myself out there and being the person that I am. But then when you get these people that are just like, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. I'm like, I constantly see the exact same video that's 10 different times, but they're 10 different videos, but about the exact same thing. So you just get people that are just trying to jump on a trend. And it's like, this crazy shoes out, this crazy sweaters out. Oh, everyone's doing it. Like the newest thing right now, and I just received an email a few bit, is about this trend called devilish licks, where people are stealing stuff from schools to get clout. So they're literally stealing like a sink, a fucking hand dryer, a soap dispenser.
What the fuck are we talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Like it's so fucking ridiculous.
How do you steal a hand dryer? It's hard to take those things off the wall.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the thing. Like it literally happened at my son's school. Someone stole a sink, a hand washing sink from the bathroom. So it's like,
somebody stole my homework. There's your excuse right there.
That's what I'm saying. It's just so fucking nuts that like, you know, like people are just being like this lazy style of content creating, and it just doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense when people, because people just like to watch garbage. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you see something so bad, you can't look away. It's just what it is. So that's a lot of the content right now, is where it's just like, what the fuck am I watching? What, you know?
Well, there's a market for people that want to be successful because no one wants to feel like they're without worth. I am one of those people that don't want to feel like they're without worth. But what is your definition of worth? Your definition of worth is what you see or what is always attached to you on social media apps. Yeah. My love for conversation and talking to amazing people, I don't want to worry about the social media posting because that is not the part that I enjoy. I really fucking hate that part because it's all about likes and clicks, and I see that as a bad route. Now that might be my experience, but when you have a bunch of kids stealing sinks and everything, trying to hop on a trend because they think they're going to become popular from that, isn't it? I mean, weren't we told as we were kids that we should be like, we're all individual, like little snowflakes, like not what snowflakes means now. Back in the day, it meant like you were an original. There's no one else just kind of like you.
Exactly.
And where did that go? Now everybody wants to be just like the person that's trending to see if they'll get that. I'm like, wouldn't you want to just be yourself and have fun in something that you're doing? Is it easier? It's easier, obviously, to pick the option of being rich or being famous because then it means life's going to be easier. But maybe life should just be the fact that you can wake up out of bed when your feet hit the fucking floor. You don't have to worry about what's going to happen through the rest of your life and how miserable you're going to be. You're actually going to be happy. You're going to fucking smile. I saw the Joker movie, bro. That movie isn't. Have you ever seen Joker?
Yeah.
That mental health game that they play with it. I thought it was a fucking terrific movie.
Oh, it is.
My buddy goes, "Did you see all the hate it got?" I go, "What?" And I look at it. It's just a right-wing political machine of trying to show that people with mental health need to be locked up. I'm like, Jesus Christ. What are we talking about, people? This is like, I'm really like just curious at this point now, if what happens if technology all just went away? Even my podcast goes away. Everything goes away. We never have the internet again and we have to rebuild from scratch. Would it be better? Would I be running across people in stores or something that wouldn't be giving me movie lines instead of saying hello? When I say good morning, they go, "There's a gun in the bushes." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Did you just watch John Wick? That's a quote from John Wick. And then you just start seeing this. I think it's a mix with the lockdown. It's a mix with the apps. Now, Sheep is not being a political or any of these types of gateways. Sheep is just being, and this is how I look at it. If it's an addiction, that means the device now has power over me and nobody has fucking power over me.
No, that's true. And, you know, just talking on like, if things were to reverse back, go back, no social media, no technology, the people that would survive would be the people that are functional, the people that actually have common sense. And that's one of the things that I've always had issues and problems with is people can't take shit for what it is. Everybody has to dig a little deeper, see through it. There has to be some kind of hidden meaning or hidden possibility of some kind of shit behind anybody's intention. It can't be black or white. It can't be fucking, you know, writing on the wall. There's some hidden meaning behind everything. And the thing is like, look, sometimes shit's just surface. Somebody is just a certain way, and guess what? Let them be that certain way. It's perfectly fucking fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it. And that's what drives me fucking nuts the most is like, sometimes the writing on the wall is not enough. You literally have to have a subliminal message behind the writing in the wall for people to really understand what's fucking going on. They can't just take shit for what it is. And because they can't take shit for what it is, that's what pisses me off the most is because people are like, well, he said that, and that's what he fucking meant. It doesn't matter what he fucking said. It's just plain fucking English.
I just picture a kid walking up to a wall with a flashlight and flashing it at the top of it. And it says, you know, your life is important. And then like, if he would have just pointed it a little bit down, all you see is in fucking red, only if I say it is. Yeah. And that's kind of like the whole world today is like, we consider value off the basis of what other people think to us or what other people think rather than who we deem in our own lives as people that we would consider their opinion highly. Like I consider when it comes to opinions of friends, I consider your opinion is a very respectful one. It's a very one I like to listen to. It's a couple other people on there as well too, because I know you, we know each other and we understand each other's situations rather than you can look at comments, you can look at anything. Now, this isn't just projected towards me or this isn't just projected towards you. This is to anybody out there. People live their lives off the basis of what they see or what they hear. And I think that you should start thinking for yourself in such a manner where it's called critical thinking. I know that's kind of like a lost skill in a way, and it's not that hard to do, but it can be easily mistaken for like ignorance or whatever it is. No, it's just looking deeper at a problem. You know, when your car's not running right, instead of going, maybe it's oil or maybe I'm out of gas, why don't you check to see, okay, now the battery light's on. That means your fucking battery has an issue. Let's see if it's a wire, and you check it. A lot of people don't know how to do that. They're willing to take it into the shop. And I think this is where we start looking at things of like, how much can you count on your hands? Are you able to do with yourself that does not involve a cell phone or food?
Yep. And see, and that's one of those things like that critical. It is something that I put into my kids as, look, I'm going to tell you something, but you need to understand what I'm saying. I try to teach my kids to read the writing on the wall, understand that their opinion matters, my opinion matters, and the only opinions that matter are the ones that you respect. If you do not respect somebody, you do not understand their opinion, you don't get their opinion, well, guess the fuck what? Their words don't mean shit to you. So guess what? You can take what anybody else says as a grain of salt. My younger son, high school right now, junior, and you know what? He 100% thinks for himself. He doesn't go along with his friends. He'll talk shit. He does what he wants to do. Here's an example. Some girl was telling him that, oh yeah, this, trying to like literally make him do something. He was like, no, I only do what I want to do. And I don't want to do that. So guess the fuck what? We ain't doing that. And that how many times can you hear somebody actually say that, or like be like, have a stance on their own opinion on what they want to do? And because he's figured that at a young age, it makes me happy, because guess what? Nobody tells him how. I can't even tell him how to be or how to dress, or, I do make him dress a certain way. I do tell him to do certain things, and he does it. But the thing is he always thinking about, why should I do that? And because why he thinks like that is because what I wanted him to grow up learning and knowing is understanding that, no, think for your fucking self, read the writing on the wall. Shit is plain fucking English. And guess the fuck what? If someone is saying something you don't agree with, that's fucking great, because guess the fuck what? You can tell them to fuck off and not pay the fuck attention to them.
I mean, the question anymore isn't just why, is asking that question of why. It's asking when. When should I do this? When should I do that? Why are you doing it though? There are people that do things and they don't even know why they're doing it. It's because they've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it? Because it's just what I've always done. What does that even mean? What are you talking about? Do you ever thinking is not anarchy. Thinking is just understanding that you might be doing something that there might be no need for.
Yep. And that's the thing too. It's like, it's no longer taught these days. Everyone is a sheep. Everyone is fucking, I got to go to school. I got to follow these things. Like one of the things that everyone's talking about is like, well, your son's got my son's in high school. He's got 1 year. He's going to be a senior. And they're like, oh yeah, high school. I got to go to college. I go to this. And I was like, and I told him, like, look, check it out. There are colleges. You can actually go to college, but you know what? College isn't the only source. You know what? They have things called trade schools. You know what I'm saying? Like like I have a commercial driver's license. I truck drive. I used to truck drive. I used to do
went
these
for
things.
HVAC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's the thing is you can go into a trade. You don't have to go straight into fucking college. There are plenty of college jobs out there, but you know how many people I know that have degrees that make minimum wage? And it's like a lot of them, like, I wish I just didn't go to school because I could work at, like, I work at Costco. I could work at Costco and make the same exact money for the exact same thing without having a degree or going into debt. And like with my son, I was like, look, he wants to get into mechanics. He wants to get into heavy diesel machinery. And guess the fuck what? They have a trade school for that. And you can literally spend, 6 months to a year doing a trade in a class and then turn around and make fucking like over $100,000 easily without having any college degree, without spending 4 years in college or doing all this bullshit. Everybody always wants to get like these sociology degrees or like whatever bachelor degree in business or stuff like that. Well, it's great to have, but is it really translating into the lifestyle you want to live or the things you want to do? You know what I'm saying? It's so frustrating because like it's always ingrained. You need to go to school. You need to do this. And guess what? I always say go to school, do what you want. But guess what? There are more schools than just college or regular, school. Actually, there's trade schools. There's so many different avenues to attack life. But yet we all get cornered. Everybody gets cornered into thinking like, I have to do this. Like, no, guess what? There are fucking so many other things you can do. And that's why, like, opening his eyes and seeing it and understanding, no, carve your own fucking path. Don't worry about what your friends want to do. Don't worry about what your friends want to fucking go off to. No, pick what you want to do in life. And guess what? If you don't like, and that's the great thing about trade schools, like, guess what? You can go through the trade. I don't like it anymore. I'm going to stop going to this class and I'm going to go to this trade because this is more interesting and better for me. And how easy is it to just fucking be like, oh, I guess I paid for these many credits and I don't need to pay anymore. And I go to, because like a lot of times when you go to college, you pay for the whole fucking thing. And then you're stuck with that. And if you don't go and you don't earn a degree, guess what? You still have debt.
You should teach a class called Devils in the Details.
Hey, I should, but you know what? As a person who has no college degree, I can't teach a class, but you've listened to my podcast, I will definitely fucking push that off on you.
Isn't that nuts though? Like the translation of what respect means now. Respect used to be like, you see a mafia person, you would pull the chair out for him, you'd hold the door, and you knew that person commanded a level of respect, maybe a little mixed in with fear. What is respect now? You used to be able to respect scientists. Can't respect scientists anymore. Yep. Can't even really respect academia. Can't even respect the world that we live in anymore. There's a lot of people that really just don't. And I get it. There's two types of people. There's people that want to be left the fuck alone and people that won't leave them the fuck alone.
Yep.
But I'm wondering how it became so topsy-turvy now. We're at like a peak so far, and it's going to keep going up. So maybe it's not even the peak, but it's never been like this. Last year, the year before that, all these types of things where it's so mixed back and forth. And
no, it definitely is.
I don't know what. I think the simplest thing that you can do as a person is confront the biggest enemy that you have. And the biggest enemy you have, sad to say, it is going to always be yourself, because you're going to throw roadblocks into your own life that are going to stop you from achieving the things that you want to achieve, all on the basis of things that you think that aren't even a possibility or a reality of it even being a possibility of it happening, which is the concept of like, how many times in your head you go, oh, I can't do that. I'm not that type of person to do that. How do you fucking know? Do you know? No, you don't. You're creating a scenario in your head again. It's like the same thing with mask and anti-mask. What the fuck is this? Why are you already citing? When someone says that someone died today, it's so sad that someone gives this. Were they vaxxed or were they anti-vax? Does it fucking matter? Like, does it really? But no, everyone wants to be a fucking detective on shit. And I'm like, maybe you should look at the detective issue here is, why are you not happy in your own life? If you aren't unhappy, maybe you want to improve things. Then you don't need to be a detective to figure out that you just have to start doing the things you want to be doing to make the change necessary to change the things in your life that you want to fucking change. I might be nuts. I'm not trying to turn this into a motivational thing, but it's been on my fucking mind recently when I'm like outside just relaxing or something. I'm like really thinking about the bigger picture of things. And it's not what we all think it is going to be. I could spend a whole day just reaching out to guests for the show, spending hours and hours and hours of following on top of the fucking social media devilish, whatever concept it is.
Yeah.
Or I could just sit outside and just fucking relax, breathe, and really get some well-needed health time when it comes to a concept of smell the fucking air. If anybody right now can tell me what the air smells like, I'll be fucking amazed.
And that's it. And that's what I'm trying to say is like, and like, that's one of the things about me doing this podcast and doing the emotional things that I talk about, because these are all life experiences that I've had. And these are all things that I've gone through. Everything that I've ever talked about on this podcast has literally just been advice pulled from situations that I've been in. And it's like people say putting roadblocks in you or thinking situations or relationships or going through all this bullshit. And me teaching everybody and throwing out my advice and my opinion on matters is to pull yourself out of that situation. Just like how you said, I'm sitting in the backyard thinking about the bigger picture. But the thing is, the bigger picture is never thought of. The bigger picture is never brought up. The bigger picture isn't taught how to look at. All we can think about is the future and right now. There's no in between. There's no grand scheme of things. It is something that is never conveyed in any conversation when you're growing up. When I was growing up, all I knew was by the time I was 18, I was either going to be dead or in jail. And then guess what? 18 happened. That didn't happen. And so what ended up happening is I had to go through all the mistakes of my life, through divorces, through breakups, through court stuff, through all kinds of trials and tribulations. So because I went through that, I learned the hard way. And because I learned the hard way, No one was really there. I had advice. I had people drop little nuggets and I'd listen to them and I'd use them. But the thing is it was never spoken to me about paying the fuck attention, about working on myself, about being about myself, or understanding that my bigger picture is going to be individualized for myself. And that I need to understand and taught. And it's one of those things is you have to learn what you like. You have to learn what you want to do. You have to learn to become older. And because the thing is we don't start off like that. And because we don't get taught to pay the fuck attention to the people around us, the situation, the environment, the bullshit that's going around us, because we're not taught how to absorb that. We're not taught how to change that. We're not taught how to change our environment, change our relationship, change the person we are. We're not taught how to grow up to be a stable person. We just all under the assumption that we understand that we just know it, and that is not known. You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly talking to my son, think about this, think about that, do this, understand, or like breaking down situations and conversations that we either have with people or situations that he has with people. And then we have those difficult and weird conversations, because without having those conversations, or without guiding him, without teaching him, nobody learns. And could you imagine, has anybody ever sat you down, like, understand, what do you want to do in 5 years? No, it's not understand how do you want to feel when you get to a certain amount of age? What do you want to have going on in your life? Guess what? I want to be happy. I want to be successful. I want to do things that I've always wanted to do. And guess the fuck what? No, we're taught work, go to work, and then that's it. You'll eventually get there. It's like, no, you have to progress slowly to get to happiness. You have to understand what happiness is. And if you're not taught what happiness is, guess the fuck what? Do you have this misconstrued thought of TV, movies, fictional books, like happily ever after? Like, guess the fuck what? Happily ever after really doesn't exist. But what does exist is a great life to enjoy. And I've got to that point where I'm at success, where I can sit in my backyard, I can barbecue on my grill, I can sit in my hot tub, I can watch my TV, I can play with my dogs. I just had my son over. We watched a fight on the weekend. I had my best friend with me. We're, eating barbecue, eating wings, watching the games. And you know what? That is what happiness should be. That's what happiness should be. You sitting down, smile on your face, and enjoying your life. But we are not taught that. We do not teach our kids. It's almost like an example. Like, look, this is how you need to live your life. And guess what? Not everybody has a great life. Not everybody has a great childhood. You know what I'm saying? I had a good childhood. My mom worked. She was always at work, never home. But you know what? I ran the streets. I ran with my friends. I had a lot of family, and I just did crazy shit. And the thing is not everyone has the best fucking life. But the thing is no one is ever teaching these kids what it is to be a decent person, what it means to be a decent person, what it means to have respect, what it means to be respected, what it means to just enjoy your life, how to sit down and then take a deep breath and enjoy the fucking moment. And because that is not taught, and because people don't teach that, that's how we have these shitty people. That's why we have these people who are so desperate to fucking be a hater and be a troll and talk shit and do all these crazy things to people. Because of that, they're not taught. They're not shown. You get shitty people making shitty people. But the thing is someone in somebody's life can literally step in and be like, hey, there's a better way. There's a better situation. Understand that I've been there, done that. And guess what? If you do this, try this, open your eyes, pay the fuck attention, and you strive to be better, guess the fuck what? You can be better. And that is exactly what I've been trying to do the most of, is putting that off. You know what I'm saying? I have my balance. I have my rants. I have my yelling. I have my motivation. I have me hustling and working and showing. And like, even with this, I teach my kids that I work. They might make fun of me. They might talk shit to me about being a content creator and doing all these things. But the thing is this is my path to success. And guess what? Because of my example, because I teach them, I show them, I interact with them, and I put them in this situation, they will understand what it takes and get it and see it and understand what it means to put in that work. And because I'm having these conversations and doing these crazy things, that's what works. You know what I'm saying? That's the missing piece to this whole conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like your life is like a car. And when you structure your life off somebody else's because you think that's the definition of success, it's not taking the same road as somebody else. It's literally giving them the keys to your own car to fucking drive for you and let them do all the things for you. As a kid, your parents do all that stuff for you.
Yep.
But when you become an adult, you don't do any of that stuff. Still, like today, kids don't do any of that stuff. You're supposed to. You're supposed to make your own dentist appointment. You're supposed to make your own doctor's appointment. You're
Yep.
supposed to pay your own bills. You're supposed to do all these things. But sadly, I don't think that's kids my age's fault. I don't think that's kids even younger than that. I think this is a world now that has completely been structured a certain way, and it's not going to work like that anymore. We're living in a time above all others when it comes to the concept of this is the most confrontational, conflicted, back and forth style world today. And I think there's a lot of good to it. There's a great amount of good to it. I know I can hold the door open for someone and say, thank you so much. And it's like a surprise. Shouldn't be a surprise, but the concept of like everything that you see, and which is what I've noticed on devices, there's a lot of fighting. There's fighting on the news. There's thoughts being shaped. People want to have their own individual thoughts. People want to have their own individual creativity. People want to have their own style, but they model it off of something that is already created and pushing them in a certain way where they're more than willing to accept that and turn into that, like a recreation or a clone.
Yeah.
And like, you got to be yourself, man. Say how you feel. Whatever you think is going to be your thoughts. It's not going to be somebody else's that gets spewed out the corner. It's how you feel in the moment that you're in. So many academics I talk to, they go, I can't because of my school. I never want anything to have fucking power over me like that, where they ended up censoring my freedom of speech or censoring who I am, my thoughts, maybe. Like, that's my issue with censorship on YouTube and everything.
Yeah.
You start censoring things, you're not letting people express how they feel and express their point. You're considering them in this category, and don't put anybody in it. You don't put baby in the corner. You don't.
You don't. You know, and then even like that, it's like with the people that are associated with my podcast, I tell them, this is who I am. Understand before you fucking cross that threshold and you agree to what we're going to do. Because guess the fuck what? You know what I'm saying? I say shit people don't like, and I do shit people don't like, and that's just what it is. And, you know, for the majority of, I've never had anyone be like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Watch what you're saying. I've had videos pulled. I've had videos, taken down, but like I said, not all of them are going to be great ones, and not all of them are going to go up.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm in one of those funk moods right now where I'm looking at it like, what's the kind of the point of it all? And by what's the point of it all is like, what's the point of just being on social media? This is my grand aspect of stuff. I think I've started to realize that more and more now, where it's like when you really put the device down for a little bit and try and recuperate with your life, even if it's not putting it down 100%, but just taking that sense of balance. I don't like that fear or that, I guess, awareness of wondering when a text message or wondering when a message is going to be. So you have to constantly just tap the front home screen to see if your phone lights up and you got a message. I already have 12 on my phone right now. I'm not getting back to them. It's not happening, man. I can't do it. I literally sat outside with my headphones on and my phone was inside charging, and I was sitting on the back porch, and as I'm listening to a podcast, all I hear is beep, beep, beep. My phone notification just going off left and right. And I'm like, oh, man, at that point, I just took the headphones off, set them down on the table, and just listened to the world around me. And you really start to notice some things. Not only that my neighbor probably has a drinking problem because his wife is yelling at him, but a concept of like, you just notice the world moving around you, and you start to kind of understand that you might consume your whole entire life. It's 100%. I mean, that's just common. That's just right in front of you. Your whole life is everything to you. But there's so much more around you where you're not the only thing to this life that is around us. And I think that's very important. I'm not a religious person at all, but I'm looking at it at a bigger aspect of like, why am I letting something worry up into my head and hold rent space there, where I sit there and think about it, future trip, where you're thinking about the problems of the future. Just worry about the here and now. You can't forgive things of the past. You can't move. I mean, by forgive, I mean, you can't hold on to things of the past. You can't sit there and let it fester into you. You can't sit there and be like, I did forgive that person, but now I'm holding on to it. Just fucking let it go and move on forward. And hopefully the forward isn't going to be the 2 steps back that everyone talks about.
And you heard that? That's what I'm saying, bro. You fucking nailed it right on the fucking head. And you know what? I'm going to say, because this podcast went a little deeper than I thought it was going to go.
I'm in a funk.
But that's the thing though, too. Sometimes that funk brings out that heat. So for those who are watching, I'm the Angry Motherfucking Dad, and you're listening to Robbie from Out of the Fucking Blank. And we'll see y'all motherfuckers on the next one. Fuck.
always living, always living, always living, always living, always living.